Adrian, after what this club's been through the last 6 games since the end of August, what's the emotion to be able to lock in a playoff spot?
Obviously relieved, and we put ourselves in a corner. But I couldn't have faulted the players today for their energy, their effort, their determination to get us a win. And, it's really pleasing because, as I said, the 6 games prior to today don't define the season. The reason that we were in a position where we won today is what's gone on, since February. And as much as, everybody gets doom and gloom, I can't let that affect the way I try and do my job. And that we've tried to accentuate the positives of what the group has done this year. And I'm just so pleased for the players because I think at times people think players don't care, and they do. And I thought they showed that today. I knew our support would be unbelievable, and it was. And I knew they'd turn up. I just wanted to make sure that we did, and I thought we did.
Adrian, this marks 4 straight years for Minnesota United making the playoffs. What does this say about the club's nature at the moment and you as their coach?
Well, it said, and I said it the other day, Jake, and I wasn't being flippant when I said that people think making the playoffs easy. It's not. Look at the teams that have not made the playoffs this year. Toronto, Seattle, Portland, Atlanta. You keep going. These are storied franchises who've spent fortunes and money. It's not easy, and we shouldn't take it for granted. But the players can, a lot of pride in what we've done. 4 years on the trot. Like you said, there's only a couple of teams, I think. 2 or 3 teams have done it.
2 active teams are on 4 consecutive years.
Yeah.
You are one of them.
Yeah, so that's a testimony to all the hard work everybody's done, from the coaching staff to the players, from the office, the ownership, everybody. And the supporters. Supporters deserve to make the playoffs because they turn up every single week, regardless of what's going on, and get behind the group. And it's nice for them.
How do you compare your satisfaction for making it this year to each of the last 3?
I think this one's been a lot more challenging. I really do, with the injuries that we've had and the amount of people we've missed. Even if it's, the consistency of trying to get we had that run, and if you look at it, the front 4 was virtually the same. And then all of a sudden, you start to lose players. Our discipline has been really poor this year, and that's something that we will address next year. We're not going to go through yellow cards for nothing, which have cost us dearly. And obviously the injuries that we've had, the likes of Asani, the likes of Remain, Jacori, Robin's missed a period of time, Ray's missed a period for Adrianas. So, hey, when you're losing your best players, and even Bongi's not been available for the last month or so, and he's been terrific before that. So it's been a challenge, but everybody stepped up, and I thought the subs today did really well when they went on the field. All of the subs did really well.
It was a record crowd. Was it noticeably louder and better than other games?
Well, they always get behind us. It did seem a little bit louder from our point of view. So I don't know what we've done. Let's see if we can keep doing that then. And it'd be nice to, that energy does help the players certainly when it gets a little bit tough.
In the middle of the season, you were very high on the team, even though the results weren't coming your way. After the last 6 games, do you still feel very high on this team?
I do, yeah. I just said there on the TV that we've been to LA and won. We've been to the Galaxy and won. We've been to Dallas. We've been to Nashville. This group can win games anywhere, and we've proven that in the past. Now, is it going to be easy in Dallas? No, it's not. But do I think that we can go there and win? For sure I do. And then anything's possible.
You mentioned the suspension issues, the discipline issues. So then how much do you look at a player who misses a game due to suspension for this game? Other players step up, do their job. How do you go through the lineup building for the next round?
That's what management is, and looking, where we're going to fill in. And, a couple of times we've had to leave Ray out because he's 1 booking away from a big game at home. We can't go through that. I don't. If players get booked for a late tackle because they were genuinely going for the ball, or they. I can't stand is for stuff that's not going to change. Referees don't change their mind. If you give a foul, leave it. Get on with it. Frustration, I know. Nobody more so than me when I played, but we can't have it when it's been a lot of our really important players this year.
What does this victory means to you personally?
Personally?
Yeah.
Well, it's, I think I said after the first couple of years, we'll see where we are now. I honestly believe that we can be a playoff team consistently. That has to be the aim. Now we have to, hopefully you were trying to get into that fourth spot and get a couple of games maybe at home, because here with the atmosphere and the crowd that we've got, I feel that we can beat anybody. Obviously, going on the road's not as easy as you would like. But are we capable of winning? For sure we are.
Adrian, we've heard you a million times say that goals change games. Obviously, given the confidence levels of this team, to get the first one and then to be able to kind of change the shape.
Yeah, it does, and then you don't have to chase the game as much. And obviously it was a little bit difficult because they play in their little 3-4-3 and they make it difficult for you, and they're really good on the counter-attack. I thought the first goal, and I spoke to the players about it, was going to be huge. And I would have been a little bit worried had they got the first goal, because they are really good on the counter, and the more desperate we would have became to get a goal, then it would have left us a little bit vulnerable. But overall, really, really pleased with everybody.
Adrian, I want to jump to that first goal. It doesn't happen if Reynoso isn't incorporating a high press into his game early on. He wins that ball, and neither him or the Vancouver player are able to retrieve the ball. Then goes Fraga on a dribble, low driven. What is the high press tactic there for me?
Well, pressure is... we always talk about pressure, putting people out of their comfort zone, making them play quicker than they would like, making them do things that they don't necessarily want to do. Because if it wasn't, I'd still be playing. No, seriously. If there was no pressure, I'd still be really good. Well, I can't run anymore, and it's too quick for me, and they knock me off the ball. But it's all still there. So, the press was, Ray's going to press people, we win the ball back, and then next minute it's in the back of the net. Game-changing moments. And that's how important it is to have everybody engaged, even the front guys, to press from the front.
Fraga isn't somebody who's known to be shooting from distance like that. He's a tidy in-the-box finisher. Was that an instruction going in today? Just shoot? It
might be something to do with the fact that he passed it from about 8 yards out last week in San Francisco, in San Jose. And we did let him know that, I don't want that to happen again. Be positive and be positive and back your judgment and your own ability. And that's what he did. It was a great finish.
First clean sheet, I think, since July 16th. Anything in particular today?
Back four were excellent. Winning the first ball.
Coach, you were speaking about players that came up to the situation due to Kevin Arriaga not being available. Robin Lott came back to the lineup.
Yeah.
Then Joseph Rosales comes in, goes with an assist. How depth do you think your team is?
Robin's, on a stretcher and that he's that tired. He's not done an awful lot for 3 or 4 weeks, and he's to put the shift in that he's done, but he gives us that little bit of composure and a little bit of physical presence in the middle of the pitch. And Joseph and Jonathan Gonzalez, I thought all the subs actually came in and did a really good job, did what was asked of them. Because sometimes when you go on as a sub, you want to try and prove something and show people what you can do. They listened to what we told them to do and did it fantastically well.
And the last one, before the game, everyone sees you always clapping to the fans, but today you were fired up. How fired up are you now?
Well,
emotional, how the team is now?
I'm always fired up. I love this job I've got, and I love working here, and today was really important for me. I wanted to keep this run going. And as I said, I would love this to be my last job. And the only way it's going to be my last job is if we keep being successful. Today's another step in that direction.
Jeff, and then time for a few more.
There are a couple of instances where Alan Chapman had to stop a quick restart because of the position of the ball on the field, and it's something that I saw a lot in the Eastern Conference games earlier today. It looks like it's an area of focus. Is that something you're glad to see, or does it disrupt the flow of the game?
I think depending on when and where. I think that if the ball's moving and it's the first pass is past their midfield, I think then you have to bring it back. But when it's round the back, and it's just needless to stop the game. But the rules are the rules, Jeff, aren't they?
You've been turning to Jonathan Gonzalez first off the bench lately. What has he done to earn your trust after coming in mid-season?
Well, certainly he's got my trust. I wouldn't hesitate in starting him from the start if I thought that was necessary. Now, obviously, it's been difficult for him with the people ahead of him, because Robin Lode, no matter where he plays, is always going to start for me here. And I just thought even today he gave us a real bit of composure and a little bit of solidity in there. And, when the ball goes to him, you never think the ball's going to turn over. But Jonathan's done great. He's a great kid, and we've loved having him here. We'll have to see what happens at the end of the year now, but, certainly that we wouldn't be adverse to bringing him back.
Daniel, Jacob, then time for one more.
How is Coach Adrian Heath celebrating today?
I'll probably be
his
in bed by
celebration?
10 o'clock. No, it's we've got a lot of friends here today, so we'll go and have a few drinks, a few glasses of wine, I think.
Adrian, when I spoke with you on Friday, we were talking about injuries, who's going to be available. We saw Robin today. We didn't see Romain make the bench, but you also mentioned that Bangakule Hlongwane could be available come next weekend.
Yeah.
What's his active status, and do you think he's someone who could be available on the road in Dallas?
Well, he's certainly upped his work this week, and he's virtually running at full speed now, twisting and turning over the next couple of days, and that we'll see where that leaves him. But I didn't think he would play this year, and I think he has a chance.
Coach, the last game against Dallas, the 3-0 here in Allianz, how close do you think that game's going to be to the one played this next weekend?
Well, if you look at the game, we had a mad 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Mad 5-6 minutes, but look at the 90 minutes as a whole. There was nothing in the game. In fact, we probably had the better chances and probably had more of the possession and were the better team on the day. But, hey, goals change games. I always say it. And we conceded 3 in, 5.5 minutes? So, if we do that again, we won't be going very far. Okay? All right, cheers. Thank you.